first of all, here's my photograph. This is Something Point Light in Maine. This is the only, of all the pictures I picked out the other day, this is the only one I haven't seen personally. I've been very close to that part of Maine, but just missed that somehow. So I did a real quick color sketch of this scene. And I had a lot of fun. I was very free. I was very loose. I did all of it with this brush. Oh no, I came back at the very end and said, that's right, did some dark details with a smaller brush. But after I was all done, I was kind of like, yeah, not so sure. Composition, nothing to write home about, as they say. So I did another one, this one in just black and white. And on this one, again, I tried to pay attention to what I'm calling Mikey's rule. It's my friend Mike Rooney, who gave me this 3 values rule. Light, medium, and dark. In either all the lights and mediums need to be contiguous, hanging together, touching, or the light and dark, or the medium and dark. 2 of the 3 need to be. So on this one, I've got all of the darks are contiguous. See, even this skinny little line right here, can you see, connects that dark to that dark. So theoretically, now there's some little tiny stuff up here, but it's so small that it may not count. We're only talking major areas here, not little details. Likewise, like the pencil lines don't count as dark values. They're just lines. And hello, Chet. How do you find inspiration? Good question, Chet. I went online and looked at Google, and then in Google search, I hit images that are copyright free. That is, the photographer is given permission for our artist to use it. So that helps. And then I started out looking at American scenes. I ended up looking for scenes that I have visited personally in my lifetime. So, and this is the only one that I haven't. Thanks for asking a question. So in this one, all the darks are connected and all the mediums are connected. Again, jumping this line, this is all medium. Well, maybe not. There's a gap there. But the lights are separated. Bum, 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 bum. Okay? Now, whether I'm following Mikey's rule or not, here's the question. Which of these 2 is a better composition? Easy? I think it is. It's this one. So it makes me think that this Mikey's rule might have something going for it. Of course, there might be other factors that are at work. So here's what I did. I'd ripped the tape off this and everything, and now I've put new tape back, and I also gave this a spray. By the way, I'm working in gouache. This is my gouache tray, water-based opaque paint. So I sprayed this so that what's here won't get lifted up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this now, this black and white image into a color image. Now, one thing I'm not sure about, and all of a sudden I realize, hang on just a second, I've got a bar of soap over here. Pardon me, I'm upstairs in my upstairs office, which I like very much. And let's hope I can find this bar of soap really quickly. You might be wondering, why do I have a bar of soap in my, here it is, good. Why do I have a bar of soap in my watercolor kit? The reason is just for times like this. So this is just a Best Western. Look at, just running my brush, a little bit like that on a bar of soap. I think I can put that away now. Will change the viscosity of the paint. It'll change the stickiness of it, and now will allow. The reason is because I sprayed this with a clear, crystal clear. It's called plastic spray. So that's why it was beading up on me. Oh, a little bit more. A little bit more. So as you can see, I'm just trying to cover everything with a warm wash. So it's no longer black and white. I'll rinse my brush and go back now with some blue stuff. And yes, more soap. Glad I have that bar of soap here. It's a trick most of you should have up your sleeve somewhere. So now I'm doing Blue washes. Now it turns out that I didn't spray it thoroughly enough, and actually the gouache underneath is actually re-wetting, reactivating, and but that's all right. I'm just playing with it anyway. I'm getting more or less the effect that I want. By the way, this idea of doing a black and white painting and then coming back on doing color on top of it is a very old, well-established technique in oil painting. It's one that you should know. One of the greatest practitioners of that approach to painting was William Bouguereau, French, 1890s, 1880s and 90s. And I did a William Bouguereau painting many years ago. And it's a great, really good strategy to know. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. No, in a minute. I'm going to switch in a minute. Hang on. Let me do a little bit more in color. And again, here's the photograph I'm looking at a little bit. And these rocks down here in the water have a bit of an orange cast to them. And this one brick building here has a definite orange cast. What I would like you to see is that even though I'm now doing this image in color, I'm trying to keep the values essentially the same. What was light, I want it to stay light. What was dark, I want it to stay dark. And I'm just adding color to it. And I'm just about done, by the way. This is just a real quick sketch to see if my composition is working. Because I want to ask you a question in just a minute. Okay, I could spend several more minutes tweaking that, messing around with that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to blot up just a little bit. And let's do this. Well, no, hang on. One more. Again, like a bad preacher, I say, just one more point. Maybe some good preachers too, don't get me wrong. I want to hit especially the side of this lighthouse with some more white. Same thing over here, a little bit more white. Come back, brighten it up a little bit. Okay. Now let me think just for a minute. Where's my focal point? I guess here. That's a bad answer, isn't it? I guess. I'm not supposed to say I guess. And my horizon is a little bit crooked. You know when you're doing a seascape and the horizon is not straight, it's no longer a sea, it's a river. That's a kind of a joke. Not a very good one, you understand, just a bit of a joke. It's running downhill. Now, do I want to do something corny like this? Have the light shining out from the lighthouse? I say it's corny, then I do it. Okay, I'll leave it subtle. Now, let's take the border off. Again, for those of you who do follow me, you know that I don't normally do thumbnail sketches. For those of you who don't know me, I'll tell you, I don't normally do sketches, but I'm seriously thinking about starting when I am doing painting in the studio, like painting from photographs, which is not at all my favorite. I much, much, much prefer to paint on plein air, on location, outdoors, on site. But when I have, like right now, it's 15 degrees outside. It's a really good day to be painting indoors. Okay, now, can you squint your eyes and look at those two and tell me which one is the better composition? It's that one, isn't it? Definitely. Definitely. This one hangs together. This one, I gave this one my best shot. I wasn't trying to do a bad painting, but that's why you do sketches, isn't it? That's a big part of the reason why you do sketches, because you want to ferret out, you want to eliminate your bad ideas. And so I'm going to hang on to this little sketch right here, and it's very possible that in the next week or two, in this cold weather, I'll take this photograph and this sketch and do a large painting based on it because, and I'm glad now that I did a sketch because look how much better this is than that. Now you might say, well, the color's better. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that it's the composition and that it is the major light and dark areas hang together better on this one than they do on this one. Even though, by the way, when I was doing this, I was trying to think compositionally, just didn't do so well. Okay? So I hope that's instructive, hope that's educational. What other word am I looking for? Hope that's hilarious to you. And I think I'm going to call it quits for a day. We're still, like many of you, still coming out of the wild and woolly holidays. You know, people are moving, going back home. And there's a few less people in my house than there were yesterday. Anyway, I hope you have a great 2018. I hope we have a great 2018 together. And I look forward to hearing from you very many times throughout the year. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.